At her birthday celebration, my girlfriend had a few too many drinks, tapped her glass, and declared loudly for all to hear, "Meet my boyfriend. He covers the expenses, showers me with presents, trails me like a loyal puppy, yet still believes I'm truly in love with him." Her friends burst into laughter. When I stood to leave, she gave a smug grin and said, "Don't be so touchy. You'll come running back anyway." I stayed silent and walked out. This morning, her mother appeared at my doorstep, pleading with me to reach out to her. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. Those who know me would spot this tale instantly. Some guys discover betrayal bit by bit. A stray message, a hint of perfume on a shirt. The fortunate ones remain blissfully unaware. Me? I got a public proclamation with an audience. It was a scene straight out of a primetime drama. I'm 38, been with Lauren, 34, for 3 years. I'm a professional chef, running my own restaurant that's finally breaking even after years of grueling 80-hour weeks and sinking every cent into it. It's not glamorous, just honest food in a cozy spot with loyal regulars and bookings a month out. I work hard, come home with singed arms and the scent of the kitchen, and sleep like a rock. It's a straightforward life, and I was content with it. Lauren's an architect at a high-end firm, always polished, nails flawless, the kind of woman who draws eyes wherever she goes. When we met at a friend's wedding, I was stunned she even noticed me. 3 dates later, I was smitten. 3 months in, she had a key to my place. In hindsight, warning signs were screaming, but I was too caught up in what I thought was love to see them. We never officially lived together. She kept her own apartment but spent most nights at my house. She always said she needed her space for late work nights or personal time. I respected that, even though I was footing the bill for both places. Her birthday was last Saturday. I'd spent weeks planning it, reserved a private room at Antonio's, her favorite Italian spot, not mine. I could have hosted at my restaurant, but she always griped about mixing work with fun. I invited 20 of her closest friends, ordered a custom cake with that fancy edible gold she loves, dropped $3,000 without blinking, because that's what you do for someone you care about, right? The dinner was going smoothly. Great food, wine flowing, everyone in high spirits. Lauren had been sipping martinis since we arrived. Not falling down drunk, but definitely more unguarded than usual. She sat at the head of the table, me to her right. Her work friends Emma and Sophie were there, a few guys from her Pilates class, her sister Hannah, some old college pals. Then came the toasts. Her best friend Lila went first, sharing a story about their college road trip. I went next, kept it short, said I loved her and hoped for many more birthdays together. Guests raised their glasses, sipped their drinks. That's when Lauren stood, glass in hand. I thought she'd thank everyone for coming. Instead, she scanned the room with a sly grin, then rested her hand on my shoulder. "This is my boyfriend, Cole," she said, gripping a bit too tightly. "He pays the rent, buys the gifts, follows me like a puppy." She paused for effect, then added, "And still thinks I'm in love with him." The table fell silent for a moment. Then her friends, her damn friends, started laughing. Not everyone, her sister looked horrified, but enough laughed that it felt like the walls were closing in. I must have looked stunned because Lauren rolled her eyes. "Relax, it's just a joke," she said, her tone cold. I folded my napkin, stood, and grabbed my coat from the chair. "Where are you going?" she asked, irritated, like I was spoiling her evening. "Home," I said quietly. I didn't want to make a scene, just needed to get out before I said something I'd regret. That's when she delivered the final blow, loud enough for everyone. "Don't be so dramatic. You'll come crawling back anyway." She said it with such confidence, such disdain, like I was a pet trained to return no matter how badly treated. I didn't respond, just left, drove home in silence. No music, no calls, just the hum of the road and my thoughts spiraling. What had just happened? And why wasn't I more shocked? At home. My house, modest but mine, with a nice yard and the patio I built last summer. I poured a glass of whiskey and sat outside. 3 years of memories suddenly looked different. The constant jabs about my calloused hands, the kitchen smell on my clothes, how I wouldn't fit in with her high-class friends, her eye rolls when I talked about my restaurant, her quips about finding someone more refined, the unexplained late nights at work. I'm not stupid. I knew she loved the lifestyle my success funded more than she loved me. But I thought that could grow into something real over time. What a fool I was. My phone lit up for hours. Texts from Lauren, from furious, "You ruined my birthday," to defensive, "It was just a joke." to pleading, "Baby, please come back." I muted the notifications but didn't block her. Wanted to keep a record in case things got messy. Sunday morning, I woke with a clarity I hadn't felt in years. I gathered all of Lauren's things from my house. Clothes, cosmetics, jewelry, the treadmill she bought and barely used, and packed them neatly into boxes. Took me a few hours. I placed her key on top of a box and loaded everything into my truck. I drove to her apartment. She'd given me a key early on, and I'd used it to drop off stuff or wait for her when she was late. I let myself in and stacked the boxes in her living room. Then I wrote a brief note. "This is me not crawling back. Your rent's covered until the end of the month. After that, you're on your own." Left my key with the note and walked away. By Sunday afternoon, my phone was buzzing again. Lauren must have seen the boxes. She sent a photo of them in her living room with the caption, "Seriously? This is how you're handling this?" Her texts turned desperate. Calls every few minutes. I didn't pick up. Instead, I called my attorney, explained the situation, and asked him to draft a document ending any financial ties to her. I contacted my bank, removed her from my credit card, and changed the passwords on my streaming accounts. Sunday night was tough. I've built my life on being dependable, the guy who shows up, who follows through. Walking away from a 3-year relationship, even a flawed one, felt like defeat. But every time I doubted myself, I heard her voice. "You'll come crawling back anyway." Like hell I would. Monday, I threw myself into work, chopping, planning menus, organizing staff schedules. I told my sous chef, Jake, what happened. He nodded and said, "She was never good enough for you, boss. No drama, no sympathy session, just understanding and moving on." That's why I love kitchen people. There's a raw honesty there I've always valued. Monday night, Lauren ramped things up. She posted on social media about how someone was having a midlife meltdown and throwing away the best thing in his life. Her friends chimed in, calling me toxic and childish. I blocked them all but kept her number unblocked, documenting everything without replying. Tuesday was more of the same, except she started using mutual friends as messengers. "Lauren's really torn up, man," my friend Nate texted. "Maybe talk to her?" I told him what went down. He didn't text back. Wednesday morning, something unexpected happened. I was getting ready for work when someone knocked. It was Lauren's mom, Diane, standing there, eyes puffy from crying. Diane's always been warm to me, treated me like family. She's the one who said my cocoa vin was the best she'd ever had. Seeing her so upset nearly shook my resolve. "Cole," she said, voice breaking, "please call Lauren. She hasn't eaten in days. She's falling apart." I invited Diane in, made her coffee, and calmly explained what happened at the birthday dinner. Her face crumpled as I spoke. "She told me you left for no reason," she whispered, staring at her mug. "That you'd been acting distant and then just walked out." I wasn't surprised Lauren had twisted the story. She never owned up to anything. "Diane," I said, "I cared about your daughter. Maybe still do if I'm honest. But I can't be with someone who disrespects me like that, who humiliates me in front of her friends and expects me to come running back." Diane nodded slowly. "I understand," she said. "I raised her better than this. I'm so sorry, Cole." She left after a long hug. Watching her drive away, I felt lighter. Even if Lauren never admits what she did, at least someone in her family knows the truth. By Wednesday evening, Lauren was escalating again. She had her sister call my cousin, her Pilates coach email my sous chef, and my security camera, installed after a break-in last year, caught her driving by my house twice. I didn't respond to anyone. The silence felt empowering in a way I hadn't anticipated. Tonight, I've been reflecting on self-worth, on the line between being dependable and being a pushover. For too long, I blurred the two. Not anymore. To anyone who's been where I am, giving everything, accepting crumbs of affection like they're a banquet, I hope you find the courage to walk away. Stings at first, but there's peace waiting. Believe me, I don't know what tomorrow holds. Maybe more of Lauren's proxies. Maybe the start of healing. One thing's for sure. I'm not crawling back. Not now. Not ever. Update 3 days later. A quick update since many asked. Yes, Lauren's still trying to reach me. Her approach has shifted from angry to apologetic. Yesterday, she sent a handwritten letter via courier. Who even does that? I read it. She claims she started counseling and has unresolved issues from her past. Maybe so, but that's not my burden to carry. Some asked about finances. I've covered my bases. My attorney sent her a formal letter ending any financial support. The apartment lease is in her name only, though I was paying it as a gesture. The car's mine. She has her own. I've documented everything in case she tries to claim we were common law married or something. Her sister Hannah reached out to apologize for Lauren's actions, saying she was appalled by the birthday dinner. Apparently, she's been telling Lauren for years she treated me badly. Nice to know someone in her circle has a moral compass. As for revenge, living well is my only goal. I'm back at the gym, reconnecting with friends I'd sidelined, and enrolled in a specialty baking course I delayed. Turns out, saving the $3,000 a month I was spending on Lauren opens doors. I'll update again if anything big happens, but I'm hoping this chapter's closed. Final update 2 weeks later. This is likely my last word on this, as things have calmed down and I'm ready to move on. The biggest news. Diane, Lauren's mom, invited me to lunch last weekend. I was wary but went. She apologized again for her daughter's behavior and shared something I didn't know. Lauren has a history of this. Her last 3 relationships followed the same pattern, using successful men, then acting shocked when they left. I love my daughter, Diane said, but she needs help I can't provide. Apparently, Diane's been pushing Lauren toward therapy for years. That letter about starting counseling? Just another manipulation. Lauren stopped contacting me after her mom stepped in. She's now telling people I was emotionally distant, and she ended things for her well-being. Typical revisionist history, but I'm past caring. To the person who said I should have called her out at the dinner, maybe you're right. But dignity, to me, is refusing to engage in drama. I walked away because it felt right. I've been on 2 dates with a woman from my baking class, going slow, but it's nice to talk to someone who asks about my day and actually listens. After years of one-sided talks with Lauren, it's a breath of fresh air. The best part? I sleep soundly now. No more tiptoeing around. No more checking my bank account with anxiety. No more pretending to be someone I'm not to please someone who was never satisfied. Some called me a hero for how I handled this. I'm just a guy who decided his self-respect wasn't up for negotiation. If that makes me a king, I'll wear the crown. Thanks for the support. It meant more than you know.